There was a recent online discussion that really caught my attention. A user posed the question, if given a chance, what is that one thing that you would like to do differently in your childhood? So ladies, if you could change anything about your childhood, what would it be and why?
G-Money.
I would say spend more time with my dad, because that's the one thing that I wish we had spent more time. I got to know him. That, and I think, yeah, spending time with him, because I really didn't know him and he really didn't know me. So that would be it. And also, I think for me as a child, I always wanted to grow up, enjoy being a child more, as opposed to like, I can't wait, you know, just enjoy it. Yeah, what about you?
I think for me, if I could change something about my childhood, it would be to take crack cocaine out of my neighborhood. I grew up in the projects in the 80s, and in the 80s, crack cocaine, it appeared around 1984. A lot of black men and black women were roped into the crack economy. Most of my friends are all gone from the projects. They got shot or they got put in jail, and I would have loved to have just a neighborhood where it wasn't about that as an economy thing. And so if I could change anything, it would be to take that out and to get my friends back.
Yeah, to not be raised in survival mode.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And it was like, and I lost my best friend because because what happened was they got the young boys involved in it. And because at the time, the laws, if you were under a certain age, you wouldn't go to jail. So the older drug dealers got the younger boys to start selling it. Then, of course, all of a sudden, it was like in 1985, everybody started driving Benzes and BMWs. And we're talking about, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, you know what I mean? And it became this big thing where it was like, I can still remember, like, 2 years went by, and everything was like money. It was like riches. It was like, the gold chain.
Yeah.
And it was like a snap of the finger. And then all of a sudden it changed, and there started to be wars and police shootings and people and it was just so, if I could change anything, it would be take crack out of the neighborhoods.
Wow. I had a very similar upbringing in the Lower East Side. It was, for us, it was the heroin epidemic in the Lower East Side, where literally I remember my mom showing me, like, people doing the Matrix. Like, they would come so close to the floor but would never fall. And now, you guys, we laugh about it now that I have such a fear of death and such a fear of, you guys know I'm scared of everything, like medications and like drugs. Like, I have such a fear, but I'm grateful for that part of it. But the way the heroin epidemic hit the Lower East Side, I attended a community church. And that was like, the AIDS epidemic also hit at the same time. So it was intravenous needles. You'd get you'd use heroin, you'd get AIDS, and then your last step was coming to our church. So I would fall in love with these people in church, and then I had to attend their funerals.
Wow. I want to ask you guys, since you both grew up in similar, what made you different? What made you come out on the other side and be the people that you are today?
Not wanting to be that.
Yeah.
Like, it was, for me, it was such a, like, I'm not doing drugs. Even growing up in, like, young Hollywood, Disney, and if I saw drugs, I was repellent to it, to the point where people knew that about me, so they never even would show me it. Like, they'd be like, A, don't do that kind of stuff. Like, let's just not even let her know, because I was so repellent to it that, like, there's nothing, I don't want to be a drug addict. I know what drugs really does to people. I know how drugs rips families apart. I've been to funerals of family members of mine that have OD'd. Like, I don't want anything to do with that. So I became the complete opposite.
And ironically enough, it was the drug dealers that kept me away from drugs.
Really?
Because I was such a nerd.
They spotted you.
Just gotta protect this
leave
one.
her alone.
Yeah.
Just let her go on with her little French horn and glasses.
Wow.
Leave her alone. Don't let her just sell.
Good.
You know what I mean? So basically, they saw something in me, and it's just,
Yeah. Wow.
Grateful to be here, though.
Wow.
Grateful.